Our world is changing drastically. Over the last 100 years, the amount of CO2 in the air has greatly increased, and with it, temperatures have risen dramatically. So where does CO2 come from, and why do we have so much of it floating around? The main answer? Fossil fuels. Fossil fuels are a natural fuel such as coal or gas formed in the geological past from the remains of living organisms. Fossil fuels are the way that we get most of our energy, and they have completely changed the way that our society functions on a day-to-day basis. But because we so heavily rely on fossil fuels, they are now destroying the beautiful planet that we call home. When big companies burn coal to be able to run their machines so that they can create products, they release large amounts of CO2 into the atmosphere. Or when a car is driving down the highway using up gas, it is also releasing CO2. All of this CO2 being released is having drastic impacts on our environment. When CO2 is released, it has to go somewhere, and in many cases that somewhere is the ocean. But with so much CO2 being sequestered in the ocean, it is significantly raising the acidity in the water. When the acidity in the ocean is raised, it puts many animals at risk. There are lots of animals who survive by building themselves a shell so that they may be protected. Due to rising acidity levels, they are having an increasingly difficult time to build their shells and may soon begin to dissolve into the water. These animals, such as clams, oysters, and sea snails, are close to the bottom of the underwater food chain. If they start to go missing, the food chain will start to break up as they run out of food and die off. Additionally, these animals are ones that are eaten every day by many humans around the world. If we don't do anything about ocean acidification, many people may begin to starve because of the food sources that they rely on are going missing. When CO2 is added to the atmosphere, it in turn increases global temperatures. Due to this, glaciers and ice sheets in the Arctic are melting at record-breaking pace. With all of this ice melt being added into our oceans, water levels are rising significantly. With rising sea levels, many coastal cities are being flooded. Homes are being destroyed, and people are being hurt and even killed. Additionally, close to half of the world's population relies on fresh water from glaciers for their main source of water. With the glaciers melting so quickly, their main water source may soon be gone. So what can you do? Well, scientists are currently looking into several solutions for climate change. One is renewable alternative energy. What is this, you may ask? You've probably heard of it before. It is sources of energy that do not run out and don't have a long-lasting negative effect on the environment. Some examples of this are solar, wind, hydroelectric, and geothermal energy. While these may be hard to implement into your daily life, another way that you can help with the issue of climate change is through energy efficiency. Energy efficiency is utilizing energy conservatively using practices that we already know and do. You are probably already practicing energy efficiency without even knowing it. Some examples of this are turning off the lights when you leave a room, turning off the water while you brush your teeth, taking shorter showers, and so many other simple things that make a huge difference. Though climate change is a very large-scale issue, there are so many small ways that you can have a big impact on your community.